So we're live, right?
We are live.
I'm just messing around. Hey, thank you, Ben. I appreciate the birthday wishes. It's always next week. Karen, I need to get another sheet of paper. I'm sorry.
I got paper right here. You want some?
Don't mess with yourself. You're
Okay.
already perfect. Don't mess. I'll grab this sheet. Hey guys, welcome to the show before the show.
Rumble is still trying to come up.
Oh, come on now. Come on, Rumble.
Come on, Rumble. It says viewers are waiting, but we're not up.
Rumble's not up yet, huh? What the hell?
What the hell? It is usually slower. It's just having a Monday morning, I guess.
Hopefully, Joe's got that taken care of.
Yeah, I let him know. Okay, he said it'll be fine. It had a hiccup, but it's... Yep, it is up and it's up. There we go.
Hey guys, welcome into Monday, April 15th. Still putting things together for the show, so we get ready. You know what we do here, canceltheshow.com. Lizzie, hopefully you had a good weekend.
I did. It was wonderful.
We'll get into all of that. Oh man, we got so much going on.
Gosh, Mondays are crazy. Derek loves the music.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it all out. That's for sure.
He likes it because he says it's fun porn music.
Oh my God. How would you even know that?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask him. Derek, how would you know this is porn music?
This is pornography music.
I didn't know
This is
that.
club music. Give me a break.
I think he's been going to the Springfield Christian concert, seeing male pastors.
Music is
dancing
damn
on a
good.
pole.
Oh, yeah. Megan even says it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good.
I read it in a magazine.
Of course he did.
A porn magazine?
Uh-huh. The Hustler's what he read it in.
Hey. Time to get things rolling. So did we get Rumble back up and rolling?
Yeah. It was only the slightest of little glitch. It's up and fine.
Glow sticks. That's like glow sticks is like 20 years ago, Derek.
Glow sticks. Uh-huh. Yeah, but they're making a resurgent now.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
Be like.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You should have brought him in and dancing for your birthday.
If your birthday's on a Sunday and you do a show on a Monday,
that's when you celebrate.
Does it bleed over?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if your birthday is on a Saturday, then you celebrate it on a Friday. But since your birthday was on a Sunday, we have to celebrate it today.
All right.
That's the rule of the land.
Yeah, I was going to get into that.
But Ben, who's your bestie, I already remembered it all, but he wanted to make sure that I did because he is such a loyal friend.
He reached out to you?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Thank you, Ben. I mean, seriously.
I literally, when I thought I liked him more, I just didn't think I could like him more. And when he did that, I'm like, God, I love that guy. Everybody should have a friend like you have. He really is a gem of a gem.
And then?
And that's more of a girl thing to do. Guys don't usually remember guys' birthdays. They just don't. But Ben sure remembered yours and wanted to make sure I did.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
I think he knows I'm not sleeping.
He knows you're not sleeping. He knows all about that.
I'm waking up at 4 and I cannot go back to sleep.
Well, it's a good thing you're not waking up at 3:33 every day.
What's 3:33?
That's supposedly Satan's hour. It is. It's supposedly.
Nope, I'm missing that.
Yeah, so I'm glad you're not waking up at 3:33.
No, it was a beautiful day. Megan was slammed yesterday.
Oh, good for her, though.
Beyond belief.
Good for her. That is a good problem to have.
And she knew I was going to be by myself because my one son was doing some lunch. We caught up later in the day. It was great.
That's so awesome.
But so it was so beautiful outside.
Yes.
So she got me some lunch in Defiance.
Oh, that's the best.
Defiance Ridge. I mean, just an incredible day. But it always is. It's crazy. April 14th, like almost the entire century that I've been alive.
Yes.
On April 14th,
Century?
it's sunny.
Really?
Half century. Sunny.
I was like, boy, I didn't realize you were that old.
Somebody's saying it's an angel number.
The 14th?
What, like a black angel? No. 333.
I don't know. Maybe, hopefully that is. Maybe somebody just told me wrong at the 3:33 bewitching hour.
Devil? Satan?
Satan? Could it be Satan?
Damn, my cat wakes me up at 4:44 almost every day. Cats suck. with that. Okay, Megan says, I wear a 333 necklace, and I promise you it has nothing to do with Satan.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
What does that mean? I've read other numbers.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Where 3, 6, and 9. Like everything in life is about 3, 6, and 9.
3 and 6. Yeah, okay. There you go.
And I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, we're popping it up right now. What does that say? Let me read. I'll get closer. Encourages us to set plans into action. Maybe Megan can let us know about that. Action and your person's strength is the guide to yourself, and to put that in, oh, there we go. The angel number 333 encourages to set plans into action and let your personal strength be your guide, to trust yourself and put thought into your choice. This angel number is also connected with optimism, creativity, and intuition. I like that.
I do
Hell
too.
yeah.
So now I don't have to worry when I wake up at 3:30 in the morning or 3:33 and think Satan's coming to get me.
Well, Logan likes to take it another way. He's like, he likes the number 69.
Yes. Well, there you go. Many people do, apparently. Do you know I grew up
Winghaven.
Yeah, Winghaven. A lot of people in Winghaven like that number. I had a number when we first got married, and it was 6904. That was our telephone number for years.
In Winghaven.
Yep.
It wasn't really?
Yeah, well, we carried it over to Winghaven. It started before.
For those who don't know, Winghaven is also known as Swinghaven.
That's right. Don't put a pineapple on your front door.
I'm sorry.
For the love of God, don't.
No, I'm being told to stop, and I should. No, I was just reading the comments. Logan said 69. Anyway, I read this about 369, and I'm starting to wonder. I'm like, oh, that is good.
That is good.
And then one of my sons, I was trying to maybe see if he could change his number. He wears number 9 in lacrosse.
Yes.
And he has been just absolutely amazing. Now, granted, he's had a lifetime, and he's great with the number 14 as well. But that number 9, I was like, oh.
That's awesome. Love that.
Terry says in the St. Louis area, Newtown has the same reputation.
I learned a bunch of things.
So that's Swingerville too?
Well, we're probably going to move in there soon. And people were like, the swinger. So I got the whole skinny on how that started there in Newtown from a friend that's lived there from the beginning. So there you go. There was swinging going on in there. People would swing. People would put their keys in one of the bars there. And then if somebody picked up your key, that's who you were with.
Hey now, never know what you're going to get on Cancel This.
But apparently they don't do that so much anymore in there.
Would those be cancel keys?
Cancel keys. Yeah. Maybe it's still going on.
I'm a little worried. Megan knows all these things. She says Newtown is actually the new swinger town.
Yeah, well, I've heard that there's cheap, but it's not as much. I guess I don't know what that says about my husband and I that we want to move in there. And that is not why. I want to be in the lazy river.
I hear a lot of people like it.
You betcha.
Something to look forward to for you guys.
Yeah. Not the pineapples. There's going to be no pineapple on my door.
Your golden years.
That's right.
Will be golden.
But not because I have a pineapple on my front yard. I want to go play in the parks.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the show started. We appreciate it. You guys rock. Oh, guys, we have to be quiet now. Kevin, you have to zip it loud. We're on now. We just got some information from the owner of Strategic. So anyway, once again, we always tell you this is the premier private transportation hub in the Midwest, in St. Louis, where we broadcast live out of Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com.
You always know it's fun when Kevin's going to walk in here. Well, it's going to be one of two things. Either the fun stuff going around.
Well, sometimes.
Or you know what else it could be? is, there's an airplane alert, and then
Yeah.
you got to make sure your airplane's grounded.
Yeah, we just got some amazing news.
We sure did.
Yeah.
I don't think you can tell it.
No, we can't. We can't say it right now.
Not right now.
There'll be a time to talk about this, but
Yeah,
that's some pretty freaking cool.
that
cool
is
news.
so cool. I love it.
We have to look up for some dates. Should be a fun summer. That's for sure.
It really is going to be a fun summer for Renew Media.
Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe taking care of everything behind the scenes. We appreciate that. Sorry, getting started a little bit late. It is a Monday. Like, subscribe, share the show. You know what we do. Getting bigger and stronger. I was at another gas station, and not in St. Charles County, St. Louis County, Maryland Heights, Olivet area off page. Somebody came up, said, I watch you guys. And I was like, damn.
I love that.
It's you build, and we appreciate it. It's because of you guys liking, subscribing, sharing the show. Keep passing that along. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing the shows. We are grateful for that standpoint. Can people still send stars?
Yeah, they can
on Facebook.
You
can also donate if you want to. I mean, anything helps. I mean, we appreciate it. We're grateful for anything that you have that we can put into making sure that we continue to do the things that we're doing. We also have a special, I think it'll be next Monday. We'll have it done. A new set design.
Really?
Yeah.
You're really going to do that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. We got a new set design coming too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We don't have money to do it, but we're going to do it.
It doesn't matter if you have money.
Build it and they will come.
That's right. That's what we say. That's what we say.
Anyway, news, headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, and more. We do it all here. The water cooler talk. And of course, we are grateful. Hey, by the way, coming up on Wednesday, a friend of mine, Will Scharf, is going to be on the show live. Will is also running for Missouri Attorney General against Andrew Bailey. I love Will. I've told Will, I wish he wasn't running this time, but it's name recognition as well.
Sure.
He is a strong conservative, brilliant attorney. He's actually with the Trump team today in New York. He is on the Trump legal team.
I love it.
So we're going to play some sound with Will Scharf today, but Will be in studio on Wednesday. I won't be here, but that is your interview, you and Megan.
That's right. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
But he will be here. So we're grateful for Will. I've gotten to know him over the year. I mean, just a brilliant man. So you won't miss his interview he was on Fox News yesterday, kind of giving the heads up, which we'll get into in just a little bit about what to expect with Trump's first day in court today. We're going to get into the Israel-Iran situation that's going on. Just a lot of videos regarding that. You got to be careful in church these days and what's happening.
Yeah,
we got a story from church that's going to blow your freaking mind when it comes to what pastors are allowing in church for men's conferences and men just sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
I can't believe men just sit there.
It's sick. It is absolutely sick what just happened. Also, some interesting words coming from Bill Maher regarding abortion, what he admits to. He admits that abortion is murder. He's like, everybody knows it is. But then what he says after that is also just so damn bizarre. Scotty Scheffler wins the Masters yesterday and then doesn't give credit to himself. He takes it on we got more and more athletes who are giving God the glory, not just saying, I want to thank God, but giving heartfelt responses as to why. And then it's one thing to say you're this way or that way, but it's another to live it. Any of us can say we're doing this, we're going to do that, but the actions always show and they speak louder than words. So we'll get into that. Peg says Will is absolutely brilliant. Of course he is. And then I wish I could share the news. Some big news coming this summer for Strategic Air Services.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Some people are saying they heard a little bit of it anyway because Kevin was on air.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. So some people heard a little bit of it, but yeah, there's so much stuff coming up this summer.
Now we need to get Donald Trump here.
Yeah.
So I know we've kind of teased about that in the past. Trump does want to be in Missouri, by the way. He wants to make a campaign stop here, but it has to be the right situation.
And he'll come through Strategic Air Services, just so that everybody knows.
Maybe.
Okay.
If he comes here, he will.
That's right.
But
I'm not saying he'll be on our show, but this is the airplane hangar to fly into.
We
know it is.
We've got some ends.
Yeah.
So we'll see where all that goes. Pro Joe, by the way, I'll step aside for a second.
Pro Joe
you're very good with graphics. You're loyal.
Yeah, yes.
You two are so damn loyal. I mean, you can accomplish anything if you have loyal people, and you guys have been amazing. I've talked about what you've done. Lizzie, by the way, I've talked about this before. I mean, she's come in and She gets very little money, if any, until we get this thing rolling. And Lizzie is in here busting her ass on a daily basis doing this. Joe, the same way. We try to find work wherever we can so that we can pay and keep this going because we got so big so fast. Now we're just trying to learn how to sell the dang show so that it makes sense for everybody. We built this beautiful studio. So that was taking that point to say thank you to Lizzie and thank you to Joe. So if anybody has ideas ever how we can make this better all the way around, let us know. We have our eyes and ears wide open, but this is what I wanted to show. Look at the nice little graphic Joe made behind me. That is so nice. Joe came in on a Sunday and he put this together. Happy birthday.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah, the birthday was actually yesterday, April 14th. And that's why I was asking not to make it too much about me, but I appreciate it. Thanks for all the wishes. And all over the place, social media, you name it. And we were just talking about, just everybody, you guys taking care of it here. Ben, Saturday evening, Megan yesterday, wings and Bahama Mamas for Joe and Lizzie.
Oh, we know we love those. Wendy's.
I was asked, how old are you? And I said 50-ish.
Yeah, you're very young, 50-ish.
Yeah.
But if anybody that watched the show last year, they knew because we made a big deal about your age last year.
Yeah, we did. Derek says, is Trump's plane too big for this airport? It depends on the plane that he would be flying in. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the plane could fit in here just fine.
We'd have to see how we would do that. Wings and a Bahama Mama for Lizzie. But anyway, like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate everything that's going on with that. It is Monday. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thanks for that. That's why we have it. Are we keeping that up the whole show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. We'll keep it up the whole show. Also, if you guys have interviews, political interviews of any kind, let us know. Story ideas, let us know. Jump in. We appreciate you guys sending those. If we don't always get back, that doesn't mean that we haven't looked at it. We're getting to it. We're just very busy from that standpoint. Okay. Monday, April 15th. You already know what happened. Iran attacks Israel. The good news is this situation is that the damage was minimal, but the attack was there. And that is a big, 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 big issue. Are we heading into World War III? Is anything going to stop here? If anybody ever wondered why they shouldn't vote for Joe Biden, this was a perfect example of how. Joe Biden, when asked about this whole situation, had one word to say, and we'll pop this up for you. Projo's going to put it up there. You want to talk about America? We're getting weaker and weaker by the moment, by the day. Literally, Joe Biden asked, what is your message to Iran in this moment about what they did with this attack?
Mr. President, to Iran in this moment.
Don't.
Are American personnel and assets at risk, Mr. President? Mr. President, to Iran.
Why is that his favorite word? Don't.
Don't come. Don't come. Don't come. I'm gonna come. That was my Trump. Did you?
Yes, I knew that you were doing your Donald Trump right there.
Yeah, of course I was.
Uh-huh.
Don't. All he says is don't. And national media continues to do what they do and just, oh, well, whatever. National media is confused right now because you literally had a country now, Iran. And we've been telling you all along that all these, quote, sympathizers of Iran and Hamas, and if they truly wanted a ceasefire and they truly wanted peace, they wouldn't have been celebrating this attack. That's how you find out by people, by their actions. People can say one thing and say it to your face and say it in the sweetest way possible and make you think that you can trust them. And then they're doing something behind your back. That's exactly what that's exactly what these sympathizers are doing. They're not calling out the attacks. Thank God that we were able to shoot down these drones and ballistic missiles. And thank God it's a win. But you literally have the White House telling Israel, do not attack back yet again. They're literally telling Israel, take the quote win. Yeah, you just got punched in your face.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody came into your house and pillaged it, and you're told, just take the win. Somebody came in and vandalized your house. They just take the win. Just take the win, and then they'll be back to do it again. Over and over and over again. We love it when you guys jump into the live chat line. Jim says there are over 100 references in the Bible about the nations of the world separating themselves from Israel. Of course, we know all about this.
Yes, thank God.
Dawn says that Biden would say don't if they had ice cream.
No, he wouldn't say don't. He would want the ice cream.
The Muslim Brotherhood in office now is stopping Israel. Yeah, you already got it. You see what's happening. You see everything that's going on over and over and over again. Terry says he totally ruined the Abraham Accords. Excuse me. Of course he did.
For sure.
You guys continue to jump in. You already know what's happening. I was just blown the frick away that this actually happened. Well, I guess we shouldn't be surprised, but it does get us closer to World War III.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And the fact that this is going on and America is just sitting back once again. Trump came out. He said this would never happen. It would never happen on his watch. And you know what? I believe him.
I believe him.
I believe him 100% this would never happen. And it is interesting because Trevor Noah, a late night host, comedian. Some people know who Trevor Noah is. Some people don't. But he's not a hardcore Republican. Let's just put it that way. He was a Democrat. But listen to Trevor Noah put things in perspective when it comes to what happened with Israel being attacked yet again, October 7th, and now again, Israel being attacked. And where are all these sympathizers all over the world calling out? They're not calling against this attack. And Israel did not bring the attack on itself. You can't use that stupid ass logic. Listen to Trevor Noah talk about giving some credit to Donald Trump.
Apparently, Saudi Arabia won't even pick up the phone for the president of the United States. I mean, look, I know it's hard to arrange those calls. Riyadh is 8 hours ahead. Biden is asleep by 4 p.m. It's a narrow window to make it work. But still, that must have been really embarrassing for Biden. And you know what? You can say what you want, but this would have never happened to Donald Trump. Never. No one was ever ignoring Donald Trump's calls. Yeah, because if you ignored Donald Trump's calls, you didn't know how he would respond. Maybe he'd send an angry tweet, or maybe he'd just ban your country from everything. You don't know. That's why I bet in these situations, Biden actually wishes that he could hire Trump to step in as President Wildcard. Just keep everyone on their toes. Because if Trump was calling, you best believe the UAE, they'll be racing to pick up the phone. Oh, Mr. Trump, we're here, hello? Too late, Ahmed. You made me wait 2 rings. We're bombing the UAE and the UFC, just in case.
Okay. That was serious. And then at the end, that was a pretty damn good impersonation. That's what we're dealing with right now. I mean, people who are legitimately honest with themselves and anybody in life know that this would have never happened under Donald Trump. Donald Trump even said and put out, this would not have happened with me. And I think it's fair to say we believe that, right?
Yeah, we believe
There's
that.
no way in hell.
I think most people believe that, even the ones that have Trump derangement syndrome, or they have too much pride to admit they're wrong. They deep down know that if President Trump, whether you like him or you don't like him, is a badass, and we wouldn't be in all these tiffs and all these wars and all this craziness going on. Now, we might have more craziness with riots and BLM that is manufactured by Soros, but other than that, we wouldn't be in these big wars. No way.
Dawn says, I bet he wish he could hire T. Julie says, I love it. Never seen gas prices so high in my state. Donna, what state is Donna checking in from? Derek says, my conspiracy theory says they will use these attacks to destroy the building on the Temple Mount. Yep, I say it. You just gave me chills. So they can build the 3rd King Solomon's temple.
That's right.
And it's scriptural, and it kind of marks the end and the beginning. Terry says the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait will not allow us to use their air bases like they did in Desert Storm. Guys, this is bad. At least Saudi Arabia helped shoot down missiles, but it becomes a big Muslim-Israel war, which is bad. And Israel is, they're in a really bad spot. Think about this. 1, they were just attacked. 2, thankfully, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't anything like October 7th, but it was another attack, this one from Iran. And now Israel does not want a big war. They don't want that region destabilized. But if they don't do something, guess what? They're going to get attacked again. Because I'm sorry, many times peace is attained through strength. And that doesn't mean you have to go shoot bombs. But if you know somebody is a badass, and you know somebody will defend their home, and you know somebody is a weapons holder, you know somebody will defend their family and do whatever they need to do, you're not going to FAFO. You're just not. And that's what these countries feared with Donald Trump and for so long with American leaders. But now we know something else has changed. We know that America is ripe for the taking. So you got to get while the getting's good. And I don't want to say it, but we're saying it. If you follow scripture and you see things, it's playing out.
Yeah.
And it's playing out in 2024 right before our eyes. Some people don't want to listen to it. They're like, okay, we just want to live our life, and that's fine. Do whatever you want to do, but we're here to educate and tell people what is actually happening. Peg says, Will Scharf, who will be our guest on Wednesday, has family there. Of course, he is Jewish and has his Jewish family there. Prayers for all of these families. But will Iran use nukes? The moment Iran uses nukes, you think that automatically draws us into using nukes as well. That's what I would have to say. I don't think there's any other way around it.
No, there's no other way around it.
Just not sure all of that and what's happening. And I don't know. Gary says, get right with God. No fear after.
There's a lot of truth to that.
And the other thing that I need, and yeah, Don, we'll get you that clip. Just remind us or email me, Vic@canceltheshow.com, and I can get you that clip, or Joe can, of Trevor Noah. And what he was saying. But that's not the first clip we've had from Trevor Noah going after Biden. He's never said that he loves Trump, but he says Trump would be a much better president than Joe Biden. And I think that everybody knows that. Everybody sees that.
That's right.
Now, the media is trying to tell, he's got a hush money. I mean, literally, the liberals that I know in their small little brains, all they want to talk is a hush money trial that has no bearing on this country, that isn't even legit. There's really no evidence except a letter stating that she never, ever, ever, ever had an affair with Donald Trump. And we read you that letter last week.
That's right.
And if we can find it, we would show you that letter again. But all of these things are just, yeah, it's frustrating to say the least. When I saw the attacks come down, I'm like, oh my God, are we going to do something? We have to. We have to try to do something.
We have to do something. And that's the scary part right now is all of this going on. There's no faith in Biden because Biden doesn't even know which ice cream cone he had 2 days ago. And we know that Obama is running the show, and Obama will not do anything if it means that our country is going to get worse. He wants to ruin our country. And it's so obvious. And if anybody denies that right now, they purposely are blind. Purposely.
Well, and we're going to continue to follow that story as well. And we do breaking news here as well. And we can continue to talk about the Israel-Iran situation. We'll talk more about that on Wednesday as well when Will Scharf is here, because he has insight on everything that is happening with that situation. But go figure, something has just come out when it comes to the Francis Key Bridge. Remember the video and the everything that happened with the bridge situation? And we can get back a little bit later with the bridge or with the Iran situation, because now we got to get into the other side of it when we talk more about Donald Trump later. But the White House is now trying to blame Donald Trump for what Iran did.
Of course.
But now there's word that's coming out that there is now exclusive intel that reveals that the attack on the Francis Key Scott Bridge was a terrorist attack launched by the Chinese Communist Party on American soil.
You don't say.
Using remote towing technology on the dolly. Now, I was just sent this video. Pro Joe, we can load the video up. I don't know if it's in Chinese, but we do breaking news. And of course, we can see what this is. And if it is in Chinese, we can read the bottom of it. This just happened. So let's see exactly what this is.
I would like to add that 70% to 80% of the normal traffic at this port is military material, much of it destined for Ukraine. Today we are going to bring you a piece of exclusive intelligence that we have received from our supporters within the CCP. The information is very precise. This attack is being carried out by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, using remote towing technology. It is a terrorist attack. The CCP has launched a terrorist operation against the United States on American soil. The impact is huge on the traffic and transportation of the entire United States. The local governor says it has an impact on the whole world, which is not an exaggeration at all. Also, the bad news is that if the CCP can tow a freighter to collapse Baltimore's bridge, They can do the same with any car, ship, elevator, any vehicle you can think of. As long as it has a connection to signal and data, a chip, an antenna, a radio, etc. Because Miles Guo once told me in the past that once Liu Yanping, the former vice minister of public security of the CCP, threatened him and said that they can crash any plane they want at any time. Don't think that if you don't bring your phone, you'll be okay. The CCP can crash anything as long as your device has something to receive the signal, like the radios in cars or planes. So again, I want to emphasize that the two pieces of exclusive intelligence are that it's the CCP that launched the terrorist attack on Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge using the remote towing technology on the freighter. The second information is that there are people in the US government who knew about it but didn't report it, although we can't confirm whether they knew about it before or after the attack. But so far we have not seen any official statement confirming this information.
Okay, what do you think about that, people? Let us know. Lizzie, what do you think when you see that?
When I saw that from the very beginning, people thought I was, again, a wackadoo, because I said from the beginning exactly what a lot of other smart people said. This was not an accident. I didn't know for sure it was China who did it. However, that doesn't surprise me one bit if China is the one who did it. But we are so vulnerable right now because of the Biden and the Obama administration leaving everything wide open for our enemies to come to attack us. And we've been told, we've had Zizi on this show before, who she has intel with Afghanistan and things like that. And she's told us from the beginning that there's going to be little cell attacks almost every month, if not every week. And it's not going to be a 9/11. It's not going to be just somebody blowing up bombs. They're going to hurt our infrastructure. They're going to hurt our commerce. They're going to hurt us getting our merchandise. They're hurting us from within because our administration has allowed it. And it's not, okay, they can blame it on Trump. So if they want to say that this has gone back to when Trump, no, go beyond Trump. Look at Obama. Look at Bush. Look at Clinton. These sorts of things have come all the way through, and they were doing it little by little by little, like this barge ship attack. But then once Trump got in, they knew that the secrets were going to be out, that people were going to know, truth was going to come out. We would see it obvious if they did another 9/11. So what do? They take this barge ship and go into the bridge. And it is, people didn't even understand how important to our transportation and to our commerce that bridge was. And what people are forgetting, there was 3 other bridges hurt that same period of time.
Chuck Telestro, I saw, broke that story that we showed you, I don't know, about 30 minutes ago as we were starting the show.
Yes.
And the FBI, and first of all, I would encourage you to follow Chuck Telestro on X. And he's even said this, and many other people are just reminding that you need to follow the new federal state of China's official X account. Once again, they go by NFSC Speaks. NFSC Speaks. They're a whistleblower movement founded by Miles Guo. It says their mission is to take down the CCP, nonprofits and activism. They are the ones that are doing the stories. They're the ones that are bringing that forward. Now, what comes to be very much more interesting is the fact that now you have literally the FBI opening a criminal investigation into the situation. I thought this was an open and shut case, right? When it came to the bridge, because
that's what they want you to think.
So here's what's going on. The FBI has opened a criminal investigation focusing on the massive container ship, of course, that brought down the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. A probe will look at least in part, at whether the crew left the port knowing the vessel had serious system problems. So that's where their, quote, criminal investigation is. It's not a criminal investigation against the CCP.
Of course not.
It's a criminal investigation regarding what happened somehow, some way, when the 985-foot Singapore flagged ship lost power while leaving the port, and then, of course, slams into the bridge. The fact that they're opening up a criminal investigation now into the crew, I mean, that shows you something. It
Absolutely.
does. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
That's right. And I would love to know exactly who the crew is. I've seen stories who they are, and it's an interesting lot of people that are in there. It's not your typical person that I love America type either. So you're going to find that crew was totally involved and knew what was going on.
Well, federal agents boarded the ship this morning to conduct a search, and they did it at 6:30 a.m. to check everything out. I mean, people wearing yellow or orange life jackets, all of them went through the lower door. About a half hour later, nearly a dozen more people wearing dark clothing pulled up in similar boat, climbed aboard, and started studying the ship. Why are they doing all this study now?
Well, because it's so obvious what's going on.
An FBI criminal investigation. See it for, there's nothing to see here. I do think if the FBI is opening a criminal investigation, something's going on. Can you trust the federal agents, though?
No, but that's the thing. Can we really trust
the
them?
FBI has shown us, unfortunately.
I don't know that you can trust them. It could be covering up what they did.
You can trust individual agents. You can't trust the top of the management. We've already shown you all the examples why you can't. Wow. They didn't do this day one?
Of course not. It's all so fishy.
Why is it all taking the time now to do all of this? But it is interesting when you see that video from the CCP, the independent, the freedom seekers who are trying to take down the CCP with the report. They're reminding you and they're telling you they can take down what they want when they want if they need to. Do you trust what's going on with Joe Biden in office?
No. Heck no.
Hell no. You don't. Hell no. They just literally explained what can happen with ships, with airplanes. Jim says, no, you can't trust any alphabet organization.
You really can't right now. You absolutely can't. And they're going to keep doing these things because they know that President Trump is going to get elected again unless they can cheat like they did the last time. So they know that the time is very short right now. So they're going to start doing a lot of these little things that the average person that isn't politically savvy, they're literally looking at like people like us on the chat line and you and I, Vic, that are like, there's something nefarious about it. We don't know every single detail, but like you said, when there's smoke, there's fire. And then you see other people that are going do on their way to work. And they're like, nothing to see here. It's just the bridge that, that can happen. No, it can't.
Les says, as you were talking about Lizzie, I saw a story that there was another cargo ship in New York just days after the Baltimore situation that lost power and almost hit a bridge as well.
That's right.
Gee, all of a sudden it's starting to happen. Annette reminds everybody, remember the Chinese drone / balloon that was allowed to go all across America without being shot down? Yeah, intel for later. No doubt about it. And everybody thinks, it was just a balloon. It's all fine. Bullshit. That balloon would have been shot down over an ocean with Donald Trump in the White House.
Absolutely.
It would have never made land. Guys, we're being played. And all you can do is continue to talk to your politicians and get the right people in office and elected. That's your power.
That's
to
right.
Speak out and make sure that the rest of the Americans, are like, well, we just want a happy little life because this is what life has changed. I know people don't want to hear it. It's so much more fun to have sports cars and parties and whatever it be,
and that's all really great stuff, but that's just distractions to what's really going on. You got to put your money where your mouth is and tell people what's really going on, doing a lot of deep dive research, because little by little, it's daily. It's not anymore monthly. It's daily. The people from foreign countries and, my goodness, our own government that are doing things to us every single day.
Robert says, it makes me wonder about all those train derailments last year as well.
Of course. We said that then, too.
We did say it then.
That we thought that was all really suspect.
If they can target anything, what about our software for elections? I agree.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to talk to Kurt Barr about as well, regarding everything that was happening.
Right.
So, but he said that they can't.
Well, you know what? I don't know about that. I mean, I think that these people can attack any software. I'm hoping they can't attack the software, but they already did. And people are so into the hand counting. Here's the deal. I don't even trust people to hand count, because you're going to have these Democrat type people or establishment types. They're going to be the ones in there hand counting. So, some of us patriots can go in there and hand count, and I'm all about oversight of that. But you can't even trust the people who say that they are who they are to even hand count. That's the scary part, that people are thinking about our elections. That our voting machines have been tampered with. We know that. We've seen that. We know that there's mail-in balloting, and we know that all of it's going to be tampering. That's the problem. But that, again, is why the left is freaking out right now and doing these things little by little by little. And I shouldn't even just say the left, the uniparty as well, because they know the voting is going to be so outrageously for Donald Trump. Even the people that say, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. They know damn well. There's nobody undecided right now. You know, the majority of people are going to vote for Donald Trump, even if they hate his guts, because they know what's going on to our country right now. They know.
Is it that out of the ordinary to think that this was some sort of planned plot with the ship now?
No, you know it was a plan.
I very seriously doubt the FBI is going to come out and say, we found evidence that something happened, but why even open it up now, this many weeks later? Is it to kind of say, well, we went in, we couldn't find anything, everything was fine? Because we already know that the upper echelon, the FBI, is not going to say China did what they did. The upper echelon is not going to say, oh, yep, they carried out an attack. They're just not.
They're not going to say that because it makes them look bad. If anything, they're pretending they're doing something about it. And the reason why they didn't do it right away is because they thought that they could get by with it again. And then there's so many people with their eyes wide open saying, look into this, look into this. So they're going to look into it. And only one of two things are going to happen. It's either going to be a cover up, so that they're going in there to cover up anything that makes anybody with the alphabet soup look guilty, or even the CCP look guilty. Or they're going to say, nothing to see here, folks. See, we did the investigation, but there's nothing to see here, folks. And then people are going to believe that, oh, thank God the FBI are here to save the day. And we don't have to worry about these ships anymore because the FBI told us it's all okay now.
I'm wondering now. I'm sorry. And people and I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I am flat out wondering. And I think all of the things that happen are showing it. I'm sorry. I do listen to the NFSB, or let me see, the NFSC. Yeah, they have about 200,000 followers, and the new federal state of China official account, X account. So we are the new Chinese who are trying to take down the evil Chinese Communist Party.
And there are a lot of good Chinese people that do not think their government, the same way people in the world look at us Americans and they all think that we're buffoons that back Donald Trump. Just the same way with Chinese people. Most Chinese people do not like the CCP. So it's just the people all over the world need to rise up and make sure that they're doing something about it.
But Donald, my hairstylist who knows all about China and watches all the Chinese news and predicts everything, he says they're all over Washington University. He says the CCP is all there.
I believe that.
And he says they like to do things in a quiet way.
Good or bad? Bad?
Well, they like to bring CCP ideals here and do it quietly.
Yeah, I
believe that.
Organic
movement, not bringing a lot of attention, being very quiet.
Yes. I believe that. And that is the CCP using average people. They have left people there in China as well. And they have right people in China as well. But what we have to understand is China has been communist for so long. People grow up and they either are like our lefties, just go along, or there's rebellions there too. When we were in China, we saw many people who did not like their government at all.
Donna says manufacturing must be in good shape because the company my son works for is purchasing millions of dollars in equipment, increasing hours again.
Well, I hope
maybe. Depends on the company.
So. Yeah, it probably does.
It depends on the industry. It depends on if there's a new job that came open. There's a lot of factors that go into that. That's for sure.
For sure.
Annette says, when you watch the ship video, it looks strange. Lights going off and on. Ship looked manipulated. And there's a lot of people that feel that way too. And then there's other people that will say, no, it was just an accident. Now, the FBI, we're only talking about because the FBI comes on and says, oh, we got a criminal investigation going on right now. But immediately, Baltimore and the Baltimore mayor told TV stations, local stations, to stop showing video. They didn't want people to see it.
Of course they didn't.
They literally commanded local TV stations to stop playing video of the bridge going down.
That's interesting.
I know. Glenn says, does Trump think China will take Taiwan? That's on the back burner, on the front burner, on the back burner, front burner. They've kind of become the same thing. There's no way. I don't see a situation where China doesn't try to take Taiwan.
Of course.
Unless they're using it in a pawn game, as a pawn in a game with the Biden administration to get other access to America somehow, some way. Case in point, the balloon. Case in point, all the illegals coming into this country. Why does China want to be here so bad? Why do Chinese nationals want to be here? You're Donald, not Trump.
Oh, meaning your hair guy.
Donald. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah. I don't know what he thinks about that. I wish we could have him back on again.
You know, we will. I'm going to text him right now.
Yeah,
I don't want it to lose the show momentum or going.
Yeah,
so
go
if you
ahead.
have something to say, go ahead.
Well, I always have something to say, you know that. But it's like, I think people think that we're dumb. They still want us to think that we're dumb. And so they're doing these little things like the ship incident and all the other things like the train derailment. And there's so many conservatives that see it, that's why they try to paint us as being crazy, conspiracy theorists. But there hasn't been a conspiracy theory other than maybe some far out QAnon stuff that hasn't come true. And I think a lot of people think that, the QAnon movement of all this was nefarious. And maybe it was. I think it was just well-meaning people that were absolutely disappointed in the fact that they knew our election was stolen. And so it's like the little kid on Christmas that goes, oh my gosh, I wish I got a toy, or I wish I got a this. And they wish it into existence. And then it doesn't even happen. And so that's a lot of things that we're dealing with, is that our country is so polarized one way or the other. And so some people cannot see clearly through their blind hatred one way or the other.
Yes, have Donald back. Listen, I've tried to have Donald back on, and he says he has to wait.
And why does he have to wait?
Because he said that he is drawing a lot of attention right now to himself and his business. And I know we encourage people to stand up and talk, but after he had his day here, a lot of people watched him.
Did they really?
Yeah. And
which is a good thing, but I guess because he
is called out and he tells people, but I think my opinion,
he didn't get political. He just told the truth.
Well, he also has a lot of national clientele who are well-known Democrats.
That's interesting. And I guess when you do hair, there's people of both sides come to you for your hair.
Yes.
And there again, they want to cancel him because he was just telling the truth. He didn't come in here.
Todd says, I don't blame him, unfortunately.
I don't either, because that's the thing. People have to eat. And once you start to speak out, you know that you're going to try to get canceled. But
but he does give me information.
That's
to
good.
Make sure that we get out. And he does listen to us from time to time.
That's good. That's good.
What we should really be worried about, according to Robert, is if Saudi Arabia pivots towards China and Russia, our money may not survive. Of course.
That is so true.
That's the big question. And Robert and I have had those conversations before as well. So even in the United States, he is silenced. Yeah, that's a good question. It is.
Boy, that is really profound. He was in, you live in China and that you're being silenced there.
Well, he also has children in school with other people's kids as well.
That's interesting.
And believe it or not, the show does make its way around.
Yes.
And when you hear a voice, and then it can get passed along, and you just don't know who's going to hear what when, especially throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. We broadcast live here, but of course our show goes out across the country. We appreciate people doing it. This is a small place.
Right. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah, word travels fast in every single circle of it. You may say something or do something, and guess what? It's back to somebody that day.
That's right.
And somebody else will know.
But somebody said
good, bad, indifferent, whatever.
Well, somebody said to me this weekend, boy, I love your show. It's so conservative. I said, actually, Vic and I are definitely conservatives, but we don't want to call ourselves a conservative show. We're just telling the truth. And conservative side is the one that has the truth on its side. So, but we have more than most people, we call out Republicans too. We call it conservatives and Republicans that are full of crap. We absolutely do.
Yeah, we do. Glenn says the problem that Donald and other people have is because the left liberals are very intolerant.
They are so
not everybody, but many, and most are.
Most are.
If you don't follow us, shame on you. We're not going to let you have your own opinion. Makes you wonder. And because of Biden, our oil reserves are now only half. We broke down that story last week. Yes, our oil reserves are not only low, but they're not being refilled up. Biden canceled the program as well. And that says, he has a lot of Democrats as clients. Yes, I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask for details, but after he did the show, he's like, I can't come back on. And so something must have happened.
Right. Somebody said something.
Word got back. But anyway, we talk. So I did reach out. And when I do find out or get an answer about his
that's not surprising. But I feel bad because he wasn't being political. He wasn't being Republicans do this and Democrats do this. He was just telling the truth.
Talking about a Chinese man who is a superstar when it comes to a hairstylist and has clients all around America. And specifically some big name Democrats that he won't even tell me. People fly in. They'll fly in from New York. They'll fly in from DC. Donna says, years ago, a first great job I had was at a company called Control Data Cyber Search. Digital really ramped up. Who would have thought one day it would enable a breach of our privacy? If it is, yeah, no doubt about it. We've seen all these things in movies. That's why I get concerned when I see things that I see in movies.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody saw Civil War. Did that open this weekend?
It did. It opened this weekend. We didn't. We wanted to. We just didn't have time. But I would like to see that because those movies do tell you what's coming next or what they want to do.
It can.
Anyway.
That's for sure. I just want to, but I have to do my research because I was so damn excited to see the new Roadhouse movie.
You saw that this weekend?
No. It's on Prime.
Oh, okay.
I saw it a couple weekends ago. And guess what?
What?
It's brutal.
Is it?
It is absolutely brutal.
Oh.
I mean, it was bad, so damn bad. I never thought that I'd see a day where a little Patrick Swayze could be more of a man and a bouncer character than Jake Gyllenhaal. Not to get off subject, but very disappointed. Oh. Very, very, very disappointed. Anyway, Robert says, how many Americans are helping China win? Money shouldn't talk, but it does. Without massive tariffs to protect our industries. By the way, guess who put massive tariffs on China?
Oh, could it be
Donald Trump?
Donald Trump?
Even the playing field, and they're like, we got to get this mother trucker out of here.
Yeah. Because
he put the Chinese at bay.
Yeah,
you know what? They hated him, but they respected him because they know he's a businessman. And then, of course, they know America's for sale right now. Great point from Mr. Peterball. Without massive tariffs to protect our industries, everything made here can be made for cheaper, far cheaper abroad, of course. Wanting to build new basketball venue in Chinatown, part of Philly. Much blowback by the Chinese community. Donna says, my son said that Civil War was awesome.
It's awful. She
awful.
said it was awful.
What did I say? Awesome?
Awesome. Yeah.
No, awful. Abe Rivera says, Roadhouse was hilarious. It wasn't supposed to be, but it was. Yes, you're right. It turned into a comedy.
Because the characters were so ridiculous or sissified?
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't real.
Oh, okay.
Conor McGregor's in it. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal looks amazing. I'm a heterosexual man, but his body's absolutely amazing in the movie. But that's it. That's it.
Other than that, there was no talent. I haven't heard anyone other now than some people on our chat line that even saw it.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't waste your time.
Okay, good.
I feel bad that I have to say that. I just have to go back and cleanse myself and watch the first one again because I feel dirty after watching this knockoff.
Oh,
it's not even worth it.
Yeah, most knockoffs are not good.
Real quick, got some breaking news that I can tell you about in just a second. The phone bust, and I appreciate people letting me know about these things. But anyway, that's the whole bridge situation. Who knows what to expect when it comes to what the FBI is going to find or not find. But I do know some people that honestly believe that there's no way in hell anything happened, including my good friend, Glenn Boyer, the college professor from Mizzou, who lit up my phone saying, Vic, don't let yourself get carried. I'm like, I'm just trying to bring facts to the table. I'm not saying I believe one way or the other. But when I see more of this going on.
So wait a minute. What are you getting carried away about?
He thought that I was silly for giving another point of view that the bridge incident could have been anything but an accident.
So he thinks it's an accident.
100%.
That's interesting. There's a lot of people like him that do think it's an accident, but I would like to see what the FBI says. But like I said earlier, I don't think they're going to say anything. They're either covering up what they did or they're going to say nothing to see here, folks. And people like Glenn and other people, we're going to say, see, we told you.
By the way, we're going to have told you we got Will Scharf on Wednesday. Tomorrow we have attorney David Gregory on,
nice.
the People's Conservative Attorney. And I'm glad there's an attorney who's not afraid to promote himself that way and say, you know what? I want to represent people who want me. I'm damn good at what I do. And this is why. I told you he's
awesome.
Yeah. He's one of the best personal injury attorneys you're going to find when it comes to car accidents, truck accidents, and workers' comp. I mean, he just is. And how do I know this? Because I dealt with him. He helped me big time. Big time. I should have used him the first time. I was hit twice in the same highway, the same spot.
What?
Within it was about 2 years of one another.
Wow.
Same time of year, same time of morning, right after it rained.
Was it the same type of car that hit you both times?
No. No, but it's because people would lose control coming off a ramp
Mm,
off of 270 onto Page heading east. And
mm.
I'm traveling 364. This is boring for our national listeners, but I'd be going straight. So these people come off a highway going fast. The ramp isn't too much of a far bend, so you still keep speed. But when you have to start to straighten out, once you get up right by Westport Plaza, people would lose their control and they would spin out. It literally gave me PTSD. I've talked about this before. Hit twice, same kind of situation. I didn't use Dave the first time. I just kind of went with things. The second time I used Dave, and it was amazing. And we'll talk more about Dave and what he can do for people, so we can get into all that coming up. Anyway, when it comes to, somebody says, that's my route. I know exactly what you're saying. I literally called my boss the second time. I'm like, I'm going to be in late. And she's like, well, I'm like, I just got hit again. I'm like, same exact spot. I got hit again. Lizzie says, happy tax day, of course. Anyway, this is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo taking care of everything behind the scenes. So David Gregory tomorrow will be on the show. The reason I brought him up is he's suing Sam Page. And thank God somebody is going after
Thank
Sam
God
Page.
someone is.
Well, this is because Sam Page, he's the St. Louis County executive, because Sam Page is not giving seniors their tax break. Now, this should have happened,
Mm-hmm.
and it hadn't happened yet. And he is trying to, he's not implementing the senior property tax freeze program that was passed by the Missouri legislature and signed into law by Governor Parson. He says St. Louis County Council isn't willing to do their job for seniors, so he's going to do it for them with the lawsuit. So
I love it.
yeah. So I just got that from Dave. We'll know more about that tomorrow. Literally, Dave is taking care of business, and of course, running for a Missouri Senate seat, just like your son-in-law.
Mm-hmm. He's running for Congress.
Just like your son-in-law is.
That's right.
He's running for Congress, though.
Right. Correct. Third congressional.
How is that? Have you guys really began the campaign yet?
The campaign just is barely just now starting. He's getting ready to have a kickoff party, and then he'll,
when can we promote him? Because
you can promote him now,
because I love him. I don't think if you're going to vote and you're in that area, that district what district is it again?
It's the 3rd congressional district, and it's an odd district. It goes from like St. Charles City, Newtownish area, part of St. Peters, a lot of O'Fallon, and then keeps going out all the way to Columbia. So it's like a weird long strip. So
I love him because he's even keeled. He's brilliant. He's an attorney. I saw him handle himself extremely well when he was attacked by a fellow African-American trying to basically call him an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Or an Uncle Tim. So yeah, while we were promoting people, I'm sorry. There's no better person in that district. There's not. And the name recognition is huge. Jeannie says Sam Page is a loser, can't stand him. So we'll know more about that tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about that.
Not trying to get off track too much, but we'll have some information more with Justin coming up then.
Yeah, real soon.
And how people can support him.
Absolutely.
Sam Page is a loser. Peg says Justin is a very nice young man. I saw that. He did great. Good. My district. Yay. Okay, great. Does it hit Lincoln County, Lizzie?
A little part of it. But not the whole part. I'll have to bring in tomorrow or the next day the whole area that it has. If you voted for Blaine Luchtenmeyer, that's the district. So if you're in that district, Blaine retired, and there's really only 3 people running in that race right now.
Okay. So we'll continue to bring those stories forward as much as we possibly can. So we'll also continue to follow this not the lawsuit, but the investigation into possible criminal activity with the ship. The other situation that continues to happen, and more news is coming out too, it's right in the middle of everything else that's going on. Biden is now going to sit with, Biden's going to host Iraq's leader. Why? I have no idea. This after Iran's attack on Israel is now spurring some chaos across the Middle East. And by the way, if you're a crypto investor, it literally brought the crypto market to a bear market as well. So it makes me wonder what's planned, what isn't, how things are happening. It's hard to trust a lot of those things that are going on. The U.S. forces did engage, and they destroyed more than 80 of the one-way attack unmanned aerial vehicles and at least 6 of the ballistic missiles. But it still happened as we started the show talking off. So now word just came out that Biden is going to host the Iraqi leader so that they can talk about what's happening. And it was the U.S. forces in Iraq who were credited with helping shoot down the Iranian missiles. So they're going to be meeting today. It's the Iraqi Prime Minister and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who is just he's a marshmallow is what he is. He's just a soft dude. I'm sorry. He is a soft man. And we already know who his leadership is, but they're talking about economic, trade, and energy issues. I mean, it's like, people, if you don't have a safe, peaceful Middle East, if it's destabilized, you're not going to have anything else. Look at the city of St. Louis. How many times have we talked about that?
Yeah. Speaking of city St. Louis, I didn't even bring any film that was worth it. People were fighting at the zoo. I mean, fighting.
Wait a minute. Is there a video of that too?
I saw it, but it's not even worth playing. It's just, it is such ratchet stuff. And it wasn't just one race. It was white and black people fighting and carrying on right in front of their kids, yelling and screaming, running through the place, knocking stuff over. I mean, it's like, you can't even take your kids to the zoo on a Sunday afternoon.
Wait a minute. So it happened inside the St. Louis Zoo?
In and out. Like right as you walk into the zoo at one of the entrances, there's yelling and screaming and throwing and carrying on. And then inside the zoo, there were people running around, knocking stuff down and
wait
yelling.
A minute, fighting each other or just vandalizing?
Both. There was like 4 different incidents in the zoo yesterday. 4.
When the weather gets warmer, people get nuttier.
They do. And I don't know what it is. I guess it's because they're hot and angry. I don't know. But
Bendy says nice weather brings them all out. I guess you mean the mean people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking politics, I'd love to be a fly on a wall for this meeting, talking about the Iraqi Prime Minister and Biden. Yep. We already know, we've heard from people who meet with Biden. There really isn't a meeting with Biden. It's his handlers because he can't handle it. Or he's having to look down at his cards. We jump around from different subjects because we love your chat line. Lizzie, were these kids? Did the video look like kids that you saw?
Well, they were not little kids.
If you find video anywhere, we could try to show it.
Okay.
Later.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've already warned us that it's not that great.
Yeah, it was. I mean, young adults. I would say like 30-ish were the ones doing all the fighting, and it was basically over. Like what I would call baby mama situations, where this one was mad, and I think people used it as a place to transfer kids, or they tried to have both sets of families there.
But at the zoo?
At the zoo.
Oh,
yes.
Man.
So these were not like teenagers doing this. These were parents.
Margie says I can just see the animals sitting there watching these people who are acting like animals.
Yeah. Could you see the giraffe saying to the polar bear, "Look at those dumbasses." That's right.
What the fuck are they doing?
And they call us animals. Look at the humans. They're worse.
Tanya checking in on the chat line, and we appreciate everybody jumping into the live cast of the show. Jefferson County RNC meeting tonight. We'll be meeting all Republican candidates running here. Bill Eigel from Missouri, Republican governor, and Senator Josh Hawley and President Trump 24. So I don't know. We'll be meeting. I know. Wait a minute. Josh Hawley and President Trump are not going to be there.
No, they're not going to be there. I'm assuming that's just the people that person is voting for.
Oh, okay.
That's my guess.
Yeah, if you can bring us some other information on that, that would be good. Hey, real quick side, not to get too far-fetched and off things, but there's so much that we read and we study. Is there hope that things could possibly change someday when it comes to union? The Teamsters have donated $5,000 to Josh Hawley.
I love that. And now some people are going to say, well, we told you Josh Hawley was a Democrat.
No, he's not a Democrat.
No, he's not at all.
Look at him in the Senate.
That's right. He's kicking butt.
So 5,000, it's a small amount, but I don't care if you're Teamsters and you give a penny.
Right.
Now, in a perfect world, I would love if there wasn't one penny given to candidates outside of individuals themselves in their country. I'm not for corporations doing that. I'm just not. I agree with that, but it's part of it, and it happens. But Josh Hawley getting $5K from the Teamsters Union.
That shows you that the tide is turning, whether people want to admit
That's what I'm trying to figure. I think it is, because they get it. I mean, you have Teamsters
get it.
and union members who do speak publicly now and go, wait a second, we can't handle Biden. Now, obviously, when it comes to the UAW, which is bought and paid for in Detroit, old Democrat ways.
And that makes no sense with the UAW, because Biden is pushing electric vehicles. That makes 0 sense.
Terry says even unions are realizing this administration is ruining their jobs.
That's right.
So that is a subject that we continue to talk about. Trish says the zoo needs to get a handle on it now, or the next thing we know, there will no longer be a zoo for us.
That's exactly right.
Donna says, I think the Philly Zoo is the oldest in the country. Not sure what that's in response to.
Yeah, well, just talking about the zoo in general. And the St. Louis Zoo is magnificent. It's free other than the children's zoo. It's a wonderful place to go. But you know where I truly do blame this chaos started happening was during the pandemic, and people couldn't come, and then people started to fight. The fighting started when you had to register to go, and some of that is still going on, and some people can get in the zoo and some people can't get in the zoo. So, I mean, it's not that fighting didn't happen at the zoo before, but not to this magnitude at all.
No, it isn't. And Robert says the UAW leadership, not so much the rank and file. It is. It's the union liberals. They sell out. They get the money. They're at the highest level. Hey, we pay you. You get your members to do this. We slide you some money underneath the table. You take care of us. We take care of you like this. And then that's what happens. We don't care about the little guys. It's been going on forever. And we hope that people start to realize that it's just a problem when we have all the other issues in our country that are going on, like we see happening in the Middle East with everything that's going on. And then, of course, the meetings that are allegedly taking place, what's going to happen. Wanted to wrap up that story. We had the breaking news that we jumped into about the bridge. But I do find it interesting. This Trump speech last year, this was back in August of 2023, when Trump was calling out Biden and Iran for the money that he was making sure that they would have. Despite everything else that had already been going on, allowing them, this was Trump. Listen, and it reminds you about what happened. It was the prisoner deal that sent $6 billion to Iran. And then now here they are attacking our interest.
To the Iranian dictatorship in exchange for hostages. This is yet another Biden surrender and a further blistering humiliation of the United States of America to the world stage. But even worse, this decision will be extremely deadly. Biden is giving $6 billion to the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, just as when Obama sent the Iranian regime pallets of cash for hostages in the dark of night. Remember? Plane loads of cash. Biden's ransom payment will be immediately used to stoke violence, bloodshed, and mayhem throughout the Middle East and all around the world, costing countless innocent lives. It's also guaranteed that the fanatical Iranian regime will use this money to advance their nuclear weapons program, putting Israel, the United States, and the entire world in very grave peril. They are reportedly just weeks away from a nuclear bomb, something which would have never happened under the Trump administration. Tragically, Biden's ransom payments also make it dramatically more likely that even more Americans will be held captive in the future, because Biden has shown that he will pay gargantuan sums of money, meaning the kidnappers turn a massive profit. They're making money hand over fist. In other words, Biden has put a bounty on the head of every American citizen abroad. Under my leadership, we brought home more than 50 hostages from all over the world, and we never paid ransom money to do it, not at all. We did it with diplomacy, and we did it through strength, and we will do it again when we are reelected as President of the United States. Our country is failing. We are a failing nation. We will turn it around, and we will make America great again. Thank you.
Yeah, that was from August of 2023, kind of setting the stage. Once again, what do I talk about a lot on this show? Keeping the scorecard. Don't forget, because so much is thrown at Americans on a daily basis, and Americans who are, looking for the next headline and this and that and this, and we're all looking for the shiny new toy. What do we got to talk about? And then it's easy to forget. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. And then that leads into the slippery slope. Oh, yeah, we'll let this go. We'll let that go. We'll let this go. 1 year later, you don't know what happened. 2 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, it's not even recognizable anymore. What example am I giving? Our country.
That's right.
It's happening. Donald Trump has been there. No, I'm not saying he's some god or hero, but my God, when it comes to being a politician, we have not seen anything in modern time like him. And it continues to show. And he even became better and better after he left office because we saw how good he was. Sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone. You know, it's human nature to think that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence.
That's right.
We know that. The grass is not always greener. No. Most of the time, the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence, but we think it's going to bring us happiness. We think, that will be there. No, not with Donald Trump. It's better. It is.
His
It is
grass
better.
is really green. Really green. I bet it's got gold flecks in it too.
He grows money trees.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I don't, maybe it's just me, but whenever I see him, it's like your dad that comes out and makes you feel better because he's going to fix all your problems because the big bad wolf is coming to get you. It's just, I hear his voice and I really miss him really bad. I know a lot of people on our chat line do too. It just is, that's when our country was great.
This situation is serious when it comes to the Middle East. It is. And I just get pissed at all these sympathizers, ceasefire, all this. They're not out yelling at Iran for doing what they did. They're not out there. And that's why it's hard for me to think that they're legit, that their heart is getting in the way of their head and how they've been raised. And those are serious issues. And yeah, I mean, we can talk about thousands of years all we want, but come on, October 7th. And I've already broken down why Israel allowed it to happen, because I still think Israel allowed it to happen.
That's
and
right.
I know I upset some Jewish people when I said it, because when you have a dome that is as great as that dome is, but yet you allow these people to come through a wall. I'm sorry. I've called out like we do. We call it every situation here. But at the end of the day, you can't say what you say and protest for what you protest and then say, oh yeah, these attacks are fine. So we have to have a little comedy with it.
That's right.
Here's Joe Biden. Here's Joe Biden. Now you have to listen to Joe Biden and how he speaks, because he's getting paid, right? He's getting paid. Of course he's bought and paid for by people across seas. Here's our
This is not about party or politics. It's about the security of our world, security of the United States of America.
والا به خدا قسم این انقلاب مفت اومد، جانی دست ما نیومده. ما باید پاسدار خون شهدا باشیم، پاسدار خون شهدا باشیم. اونایی که
That's great. He speaks much better in a foreign language than he does in English.
Hell yeah, he does.
Oh, that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, we needed a laugh. It was getting too damn serious today again.
That was good.
But we have a weekend of the Dimension Democratic Party loser. Net says, that's funny, scary, but true.
Right?
Jeannie says, where's the snake? Or the snake is him.
Yeah, I think the snake is
LOL from the chat line as well. Yes, we miss Donald Trump. Megan says ceasefire has become the new hands up, don't shoot.
That's right.
Which never, ever happened or existed.
That's a really good point.
That's badass.
Well, because all weekend long there was these creepy Palestinian protests. We were in I saw one when we were in Chicago. I saw one when we were in Kansas City. Lori on the chat line is saying there's another one at Boeing and North St. Charles already. I mean, it really is. It is the new hands up, don't shoot. That is exactly what it is. Great job, Megan. Great analogy.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm sorry, that music.
That music.
That sound.
Great.
Oh my God. He must need more cocaine or, he puts his headdress on and he gets energy.
Yeah.
But that's funny. I don't know who made the video, but I came across it and I loved it.
The video was great.
That someone now needs to do a China Joe one.
For sure.
Well, then you got China, you've got Ukraine, you've got Iran. Anybody else own us right now?
Venezuela,
Brazil.
That's right.
The BRICS companies,
you betcha.
Countries, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much we're bought and paid for
by everybody. Even Mexico's got stuff on us.
Yeah, Hunter's been very quiet lately too.
He sure has.
I wonder where they put him in. There was another one of the protests in South County and
they were all over.
Yeah, they're all over the country. They're happening, and they're not doing anything for themselves. The bankers own us. Yes, that's Robert Peterball says. Could not agree anymore. Those are the things that are happening. The other.
The banks in our own country. Today is National Theft Day. This is that we have to, like
that's
pay your
new
taxes.
Meaning in 2024.
That's right. They literally steal all your money on the 15th.
And in 2024, National Theft Day. There's, what? It's interesting you say that. Hey, Joe, I told you we wouldn't play the video today, and I kind of like to see the flow of the show and what's happening and where it's going. Do we still have that video, Joe, where I told you we wouldn't play today, that maybe we would play it tomorrow? The African American gentleman talking about taxes since it's April 15th.
Yeah.
If you have that, Joe, let me know on the chat line. If you don't, that's cool. We'll save it for tomorrow. But yeah, once again, here's your warning. People know what April 15th is National Tax Day, otherwise known as
National Theft Day.
National Theft
A lot of
Day.
people have to take out a loan. Literally, I know a couple people that have to figure out how they're going to pay their taxes. They're going to have to get a loan to pay the government. That's crazy. And the goal, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm getting a whole lot of money back, which isn't really a whole lot of money. I was like, the goal is to break even. You don't want them keeping your money either. This is the first year I think we literally broke even. Most of the time we owe the government so much money.
I don't get this from the chat line, why I'm not commenting much. My phone ringing off the wall. Come on, people, you've had 3 months notice.
I'm guessing that she's saying that people at her business, she's trying to watch the show and she's having a hard time watching the show because people are calling her.
Oh, is she tax?
I think she does work in something like that.
Oh, okay. Don't forget to pay your taxes. The illegal immigrants are relying on it.
That's right, Glenn. Come on, people.
Do your part. Trish says we're in deeps. And of course, as I said, the bank's rolling us. Okay. When it comes to taxes, since this is tax day, and thank you, Pro Joe, you rock. Here's a video. This guy, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers, but listen to what he says. And we've talked a little bit about this in the past. And this is your reminder on April 15th. Will this ever happen? In my humble opinion, no, but would it help? Yeah. Check this out right now.
Do you guys know who Billy Carson is? If you're open to listening to a different perspective on reality, he's definitely someone you can probably learn some things from. Next Move Revolution. Run that video, comment below.
There's 190 million Americans. 190 million. Imagine if, now out of that, all of them don't have jobs, right? Let's just say 90 million working Americans that are actually on the streets, free to move around. Let's just say out of the 90 million, 40 million say, you know what, we're not going to pay the mortgage payments and the taxes anymore. Matter of fact, we've been collaborating, and we've saved up for a month or two. We don't need any gas or food for a month or two, so we're not even going to go shopping. We're not going to get on public transportation. We're not going to use our cars. We're done. We're going to take 2 months off. You know that thing you did to us with the global pandemic when you shut everything off? Well, we're going to shut everything off now. Except we won't turn it back on until you negotiate a better deal with us. Because you work for us. We don't work for you. You are our servants. That's what the government is. Your servants. But you got it where they're telling you everything you can and can't do. And you're afraid of them. What if we turned off the planet collectively and said, you know what, we're done. Talk to us when you send a representative that we approve of, and we'll start the negotiation process on how we might turn things back on when we're ready under the right conditions suitable for us. And watch them start shaking in their pants.
Mm-hmm.
Watch these elites start panicking when the cash flow stops moving. You see? We don't think like that. We think like, man, well, if I participate, but Sally doesn't, then I'm going to be stuck, and I'm not. We know that these techniques work because look at Hollywood. Hollywood been on strike. No writers, no actors, no actors guild, nothing. It's a drought out there. I was just in Hollywood filming my TV series through an independent producer. Everything is shut down. Why? Because they got together and said, you know what? We're not going to allow them to use our image in this AI movie software without paying us. If they're going to use my image in the AI software to do a movie, then we got to get paid royalties on it. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bump them and use AI to take away the acting jobs, but using their faces. But they got together and said, "No, that ain't gonna happen." You see? That's just a small scale. Now expand it to the big scale. Why can't we do that? Why haven't we done that? I guarantee you 1 month of no revenue moving through this country and everybody going to request their money out of the banks will shut down everything.
That's a great point. We can get out right there too, Joe, because that puts things in perspective about where you are on National Tax Day. Roland says that guy's a loon, though. I know he says some okayish things, but he goes way off the rails. What I heard right there, does it sound like it's way off the rails? I don't know.
I don't think anybody will do it because there's two. I mean, there's a lot of people that agree with him. I don't know if you notice there is a purposeful thing going on now with people in their 20s and their 30s. They are purposely not paying their car sales tax because they know nobody's going to do anything to them. That's their way of fighting back to the government and that sort of thing. And if everybody did that, what were they going to do? They're not going to put us in jail for that. Where it goes off the rails is where people think, I'm not going to pay any of our taxes at all. Wouldn't that be great? But the first, 200,000 people to do that, we'd all be in jail.
How are they going to go after everybody?
Well, but can you ever get everybody to do it?
Well, we went off the rails in the show because you brought up National Theft Day, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I got a video ready to play regarding National Theft Day.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody did this, okay, today's National Theft Day, as I call April 15th. I really do. That is the government stealing our hard-earned money. I'm okay if they're doing it for roads and parks. I'm not okay that they give it to Ukraine. I'm not okay that they give it to China. I'm not okay that they give it to every BLM rioter and protest people and every person that could be working on the street corner, but they don't. I don't like that. But so if every single person didn't pay their taxes, I agree with that. We would not all go to jail, but not everybody would do it. We'd have to collectively say, okay, everybody take your money out of the banks and nobody pay their taxes. It could be done. But so many people, they really believe they're self-righteous and they're a good human being when they pay their taxes, that they're taking one for the team. And so they have no problems with giving them to social programs and unified health care and all of that ridiculousness. That guy might be going off the rails, but he's on to something. But could we get everybody to do it? Would you do it, Vic? Would you do it? I would too.
Sure.
I would too.
Absolutely. I would jump in.
I would jump in. I would. So if somebody wants to do it, I'm all for jumping in, but we all have to do it. That's the problem. I mean, you could be sitting on the subway in New York and you're sitting there going, I'm not paying my taxes. And you got some do-gooder sitting over there going, oh, but Joe Obama wants me to give it to the Palestinians. Screw that.
Well, Megan says, shoot, you can't even go on a vacation anymore without worrying about people moving into your house.
That's right.
And they have rights to do it. So thieves have the rights now.
They do.
Donna says the IRS will always win.
They will. And it's, but you know what? You know what I learned?
They'll win under the current way that you play the game.
That's right.
Until you change the rules on them.
We have to change the rules.
There are power in numbers. Now, we're not saying people should do this. We're just saying it's a thought.
It is a thought. And you know that this whole tax thing, this whole thing with April 15th, it's not really that old, you guys. It's not like this has been going on 500 years. I think it's only been going on like 106 or 7 years. So that sounds like a lot to somebody that's 20, but somebody like us that are in our 50s, that was only one lifetime ago. So why can't we reverse this? Why can't we figure this out? I think a lot of people could figure this out. We could have it where we don't have national.
But this gets into what Robert Peterbilt has always pushed. Are we truly an American citizen or nationalist? And if he's listening, he can tell you, which is why you're bought and paid for when you're born.
You are bought and paid for. As soon as you give that, you get a social security number, you're bought and paid for.
And that's where I've had people say, okay, now you guys are getting into the weeds again. You're getting a little crazy. You know, if this was such a real deal, then somebody would have won court cases and received $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Because have you guys heard that? I've heard it as well. We've shown the videos on these shows, on our shows, where the government owes you money and you were bought and paid for.
Mm-hmm.
So Bendy says federal income tax was supposed to be temporary when it first came in.
That's exactly right. She's exactly right. And here it just it was supposed to be whenever the government says we're only going to do this to you temporarily, they just say that because people are dumb shits and they think, oh, that's right. It's only going to be 2 weeks to stop the spread.
Well,
and then it keeps going on.
Well, this is my point. If everybody does it, you'll win.
That's right. If everybody does it, I agree.
And the example is Glenn says, if everyone would have refused to wear a mask, guess what?
Same effect.
Then it wouldn't have been there.
That's right.
The problem is getting everybody to
That's
do
right.
it. Things have to be so horrible. You have to lose everything and literally have nothing before you're going to get most everybody on board. And you still won't get everybody on board at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You still won't be.
You never can get.
There was a doubting Thomas next to Jesus.
That's right. Even next to Jesus.
So there's always that's our human nature.
That's right. Because we doubt everything, and like I said, there's these people that just think. I mean, literally, people love to call out people who have expired plates, and I get why they do that, but they do that like, damn it, I had to pay this $700, so you do too. But I'm not for calling those plates out. I'm like, genius, you're not paying the government money to give it to Ukraine. Now, that being said, you can look at my plates. I'm one of the dumbasses that do pay my taxes. But I really find the people that don't pay them, I'm like, you're a little bit of a badass right there.
Another case in point. Robert says income tax is not a revenue generator. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
He says it's a behavior generator.
That's exactly right.
Just like the IE green energy credits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mitch says I could name I could name about 20 quote never masters cupcakes.
I'm guessing.
I don't know what he means
I'm
by
not sure
that.
what he means either, unless he's meaning 20 never Trumpers about the
20 never. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Countries like the UAE do not pay taxes. Government pays for everything from oil money. So we don't have to have a lot of oil. So you have to have a lot of oil. Another interesting thing. Sorry, not sorry. I just decided to follow the laws. Dummy me.
Yeah, I'm like you, Donna. It's like I'm not calling anybody a dummy. I follow the laws too. I follow all the laws. But I don't like to follow some of them because I don't like my money going to, I don't want to be pulled over. I don't want to be seen as somebody that doesn't pay my bills. So of course, all of my stuff is paid up. But that being said, we are kind of dumb, really, but we don't have a choice. I mean, I do every time I write one of these bills out to the government or to the IRS or to the Missouri Department of whatever. I'm like, God, I'm a dumbass, but I have to.
My sister has been pulled over and ticketed for expired plates.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going with that. I mean,
well, that's because we were talking about that because good law abiding people, like somebody maybe got pulled over, like for having, if you have your plates that are expired, you get pulled over. But think about how Gestapo-ish that is. You already bought your car. You already paid the sales tax. You might have forgotten to maybe renew them, and then you get a ticket, and then you have to pay more to the government on top of it all. That is a freaking racket.
Well, this is interesting, and this is why I'm glad Robert jumped in. He's in Michigan. It's not a law. Paying your taxes is not a law. He says it was never ratified. Watch the Harry Reid video on income taxes.
But what happens to you if you don't pay your income taxes? You go to jail.
Or they come after you.
Well,
the government comes after.
Well, and they scare the hell out of you. And I can say that when I owned my childcare center, they said I will never forget it. We were in business maybe 5 years. They said I owed $55,000. And I knew I didn't. And my accountant knew I didn't. So we had to take out a loan to cover that $55,000. Then we got an attorney who fought it, and we won. We did not owe those taxes. But guess what? Did they pay me any interest on that money? No, we never really got it back. We got it as credits. But I mean, that's what they can do to you. And if I hadn't paid that $55,000, they would have come and taken my business away.
Jeannie says somebody's lying. Diane says, then they'll seize all your property.
That's exactly right, Diane. That's what they threatened us with.
But Projo jumped in and said, people, federal tax is unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional, but they can do it to you, or they can scare you. Literally, they scared my husband and I so much when we were like in our late 20s. If we did not pay that, they were going to seize our childcare building.
From the chat line, good evening, Officer Revenue.
Good, that's right.
They weren't supposed to be able to borrow from Social Security in the first place. This according to Vernon. So they called it a general fund so that they could then borrow from it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate your chat line, people, the comments from anywhere and all the websites and platforms we're on. X, Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, Cloud Hub. You can watch us live right now. Also, we have our audio, which you can watch, the audio platforms. As soon as the show ends, it gets downloaded within like 15 to 20 minutes afterwards. The IRS came after my mom, who had dementia and didn't file for a few years, a poor widow. Lawyer got it down to $2,000 owed. Peg reminds everybody we are also closer to communism than people think.
That is 100% true. And did you know, I don't know if people understand this about IRS agents, that it isn't as bad. It changed under Donald Trump, but I'm sure with the Biden administration hiring all those IRS agents again, what we learned when the IRS was trying to, they admitted they knew that they made up that $55,000, knowing we were going to pay for it, hoping we didn't fight it, because you know that IRS agents get paid by commission. So that they, at least they did during that period of time, that
I did not know that.
They go after people and they get a commission of that money given. Now, Trump changed a lot of that, but I don't know how it is now under the Biden administration if they get commission. And it is an ugly thing to have to fight. It really is. So if you're in business, you better have a tax attorney, because the IRS, I don't believe they did it under Trump, but they sure were going to come after you now. And they sure did under Clinton.
Yeah, Abe says he's having to do payments now because of the money that's going out. And that says, yes, it's unconstitutional. Government don't follow our Constitution, though.
No, they don't.
Or doesn't.
They don't.
But then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
You are.
Unless everybody is doing it, you're in that situation.
That's right.
Does the government owe you money? Do you owe the government money? Back and forth, making those decisions, trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong.
That's right.
Yeah, damn, it's all pretty damn interesting.
You have to be really privy to the law and find the loopholes and find how to pay less taxes, how to file, how to do it. Even when you sell a property, how to move the money next, or the government takes a lot of your money.
The IRS is an arm of the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private coalition of private banks.
Yep, Diane is right.
At any time the Federal Reserve Bank is involved, just study up on it. That's all I have to say.
Very much so.
Also, I believe from the chat line, the IRS is really a Puerto Rican company. I don't know if that's a joke or serious.
I don't know if that is either. I don't know about that. I just knew that I will never forget the name Carl Brown as long as I'll live. Because Carl Brown was the IRS agent coming after my husband and I, and he did this to hundreds and hundreds of people upon his retirement. Carl Brown. There's a special place in hell for you if he's ever listening.
Yeah, I don't know, Carl.
I don't know, Carl.
If you're receiving a paycheck, they are getting paid. Yeah, and that reminds everybody to look into the Rothschilds, as we have talked about when it comes to the Federal Reserve Bank. And you go back in history and start looking how they made their name, how banks started. And of course, we get it almost becomes a Friday episode, but it is one of those situations that happens when it comes to Federal Reserve Bank and money issues. Should start a savings account that draws interest that can pay your taxes.
And that's a really good point that she's making. You don't want to be stuck at the end owing the government any money. But hear what she's saying. You have to start up an account or have to be aware, because you got to pay them at the end. Or you have to be savvy enough to make sure you just break even. The goal is to break even. They don't keep your money and you don't owe them either. But if you own a business, you often owe. There's only so much you can do there.
Yeah, that all happens. And of course, yes, it's unconstitutional, but how many other things are the government doing that's unconstitutional? First, Second, Fourth Amendments have been under attack constantly for years with no recourse against the government officials that contribute to it.
That's right.
And then they tax your interest.
They do. They do. They tax your interest.
On National Theft Day.
But on National Theft Day, I'm going to say it one more time and I'll be done off my soapbox. If they owe you money, they don't add interest on there. They don't.
It is from the chat line. It's a rabbit hole with the Rothschilds and the Federal Reserve Bank.
It really is.
You're never going to be able to connect dots fully, but there's enough to show.
There's enough to show. And most people are, like someone on our Rumble chat line is saying, most people are rule followers no matter what the rules are, whether they're right or wrong. You're raised by your parents to do the right thing, and the right thing is law and order and to follow the rules. So that's why people do it. I mean, I'm a rule follower and I hate rules, but I don't want to go to jail and I don't want to pay fines.
No, I get it. And Megan brought up a good point earlier too. Megan getting scriptural, and she wanted to make sure that everybody saw what she was talking about, because even Jesus told the people to pay Caesar what Caesar was due.
That's right.
It's not always fair,
but
it's the right thing to do, I guess, according to Scripture. Is that what?
Well, there is script. Yeah, in Scripture, you're basically supposed to pay what's onto Caesar's. Basically saying,
what the
pay your
government tells
king
you.
or your tax collector.
Correct.
Even if it's wrong, it is biblical to do it, and that's why people are rule followers. So if you're a Christian, most really devout Christians are rule followers, and they pay their taxes.
This is interesting. Tanya says, I'm on permanent disability with my early pension from AT&T and Social Security now for a long time. The Missouri state income tax states I owe them money. I filed back in early March. I finally won that case. Jay says, hey guys, we revolted over a T-tax. They would roll over seeing what we allow now. That is a terrific point.
That is a terrific
when you think about, quote, true early country patriots that had to do what they did for our country. You know, The Patriot, Mel Gibson movie. That's what comes to my mind when I think of that and the things that were going on. We don't know about that. We've forgotten about World War I, World War II. And Diane says Jesus said that in Scripture because he knows how serious they are about taking money from your labor and possessions.
That's true.
And then it's a situation where you have to play the game.
It is a game. It is all a game,
and you got as best as you possibly can.
You do. It's all a game. You got to figure out. You got to know their nefarious rules so you can play within their rules to pay less taxes. There is ways to do that, so you just got to play their game.
Speaking of playing the game, this is canceled. This is Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe, not seen, but taking care of everything behind the scenes. Talk about playing the game. Donald Trump's having to play the game, but he's making people trying to play his game. I don't even like calling it the hush money case because it's truly, we're insinuating that he tried to pay hush money, and I'm sorry, it should not be called that. It just should not be called that. Well, today is the first day of the quote trial, only because what they're doing is they're picking a jury. They're picking a jury today. And we already showed you the letter last week. Stormy Daniels has already written a letter signed saying that she never had an affair and that she wasn't saying it because of money, saying that she never received hush money. Yet they're now trying to go back and use Michael Cohen and put him on a stand as if, and get his testimony as if he's some quality guy. And he's not. Former Trump attorney. The guy's a jackass. Totally a jackass.
Yeah.
Well, today you've got a situation that's going on. He was explaining a little bit about this. Will Scharf will be on with us Wednesday. He's on Trump's legal team. He was on the Fox Sunday business show yesterday. I spoke to him last night. He doesn't expect a lot to happen today. They're trying to pick a jury, but picking a jury in New York, very, very interesting. I wanted to play a little bit of his interview on what he was telling Fox News yesterday about what to occur. And then he'll be here on Wednesday to give us a behind the scenes look at what's happening with Trump, talk about his campaign for Attorney General as well. That's not it. That's our golf. That's Scheffler.
That's Scotty.
We will be showing Scotty in a little bit. Scotty Scheffler, who would be terrific to put up, and we're going to show you what his comments were after winning the Masters yesterday and just making it a really bad back nine for everybody else. Made it pretty damn boring. So Will Scharf is an attorney, super damn smart guy, and he's part of the legal Trump team, the legal team for Trump. And that's right, Trish. Cohen has already been caught lying. How can he believe? He wouldn't be believed in any normal court.
No, he wouldn't.
This is New York again. This is the worst of the worst, the ugly of the liberal elite that you're going to find. We saw it with Judge Ignorant as well. And you're going to continue to see it. So the breakdown with Will Scharf that I talk about is what's happening behind the scenes and how comfortable they feel as if they had everything going on. So we're trying to show you that no, we need that, Joe. That was not for tomorrow. That was another video for tomorrow. Will, if you can please pull that up when you get a chance, that would be great. So we can show and have Will explaining what's happening. So yes, it is a banana republic, as Megan says. Anything is
anything
going when it
goes.
comes to the court of law right now. I mean, it is. I mean, this whole situation. When you hear the headlines, what do you hear, Lizzie?
When I hear the headlines, there's so much stuff going on with the headlines, and I think when you're going to the hush money, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. So I agree with you, Vic. When they're talking about the hush money, it already makes him sound like Trump is guilty. On the way in, I was listening to some Fox News and listened to other news things. And I was like, even on conservative stations, they were making it sound like Trump was guilty, that he was trying to have Stormy Daniels be hushed up. They were also trying to make it sound like Trump is trying to pull a fast one so that he doesn't already have the court there. They're making him sound guilty. And it's all in the wordage that people use. When you listen to the news, and it doesn't even matter who it is, even Fox News already has some of their commentators make it sound like he's guilty. So you have to listen to the words that they use, because they're already making it come out. Is he guilty? Why? They know he's not guilty. They already read the letter by Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels, look at what she did for a living. She's not going to tell the truth. She's going to do anything for a buck. And so this whole thing is a bunch of crap. And it's even being played out in the mainstream media, the legacy media, whatever kind of media you want to call it. And it's full of crap.
Yeah. And it's what the media wants you to see. They don't want you focusing on Iran. It is interesting. They don't want you focused on the attack that Iran just had on Israel. They don't want you focused on anything that's happening. They don't want you focused on, oh yeah, these are the inflation numbers. We don't want you focused on the border, any of these things. It's all nope. And we'll just start it from the beginning, from that standpoint, Joe. That's Will Scharf. He's one of Trump's attorneys, and we'll just go ahead and start that, Joe, when you have the opportunity to put that back up. This was Will Scharf, again, on the Fox News Sunday show with
Starting tomorrow, jury selection in President Trump's first criminal trial will get underway. Could take days, maybe weeks. The 12 jurors ultimately seated, along with some alternates, will be asked to consider 34 felony counts against the former president in connection with money paid to.
Okay, well, that was great. They were getting ready to talk about what's happening with Donald Trump in this case. Have no idea what happened from a technical standpoint. It does happen. It even happens with Joe Rogan.
Film star who says she had sex with Trump and then took the money to keep quiet. Each of those counts carries a possible 4-year jail term. Prosecutors are trying a novel legal theory that elevates misdemeanor charges related to falsifying business records to felonies by claiming they were falsified to conceal another crime. The case is expected to take a couple of months. It will not be televised. High-profile witnesses may include former Trump fixer Michael Cohen. The defense will try to paint him as unreliable and self-interested. It's possible former Trump aide Hope Hicks, Stormy Daniels herself, and another woman who claims she had an affair with the president could take the stand, but will the former president? Let's ask someone who could answer that question. Joining me now, attorney for the former president, Will Scharf. Good to see you. Welcome to Fox News Sunday.
Great to be with you. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, so the president, first of all, let's talk about jury selection. This is an area where Manhattan, roughly 85% of the vote last time around went for President Biden. How tough is it going to be to get a jury you think can be neutral?
Well, I think that's a really important point. At the end of the day, what we're talking about here is a show trial. It's a 6-week-long media extravaganza in the media capital of the world, where the only realistic consequence, even if President Trump were convicted, is frankly a talking point for the Biden campaign. Jury selection is going to be difficult. I have a lot of faith in our team up there that they're going to be able to get the best possible jury. But I think it's really important to note that the fact that this case is being brought at the height of election season makes the process of picking a jury even more difficult, makes the possibility of having a biased jury even more likely. And that's a real problem.
Well, the president a couple of days ago said he'd be okay taking the stand. There are those out there who say, one legal analyst said, if he was my client, I'd beg him not to do it. Michael Cohen, who is also expected to be on the stand, is skeptical the president will take the stand. Here's what he said last night.
The likelihood of Donald Trump being on the stand is equal to the likelihood of me waking up tomorrow 7'6" and playing center for the New York Knicks. It's not going to happen. The one thing that, you know, every time Donald opens his mouth, you know that something non-truthful is coming out of it. We also know that he's not a good defendant. He's not a good witness.
Okay, couldn't disagree anymore with
attorney.
everything else that's going on with that. So you see, Will is going to be here on the show live on Wednesday. We've already talked about it. Super smart guy. Diane says he's a super pro-Constitution attorney. And once again, another conservative. Yeah, I do. Yeah, we've been talking about this too. Robert Trump and his legal team say Judge Meechan's daughter and her Democratic consulting firm have profited heavily off the prosecution. Yes, that's why they were trying to get the judge to recuse himself. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He's not going to recuse himself, especially in New York. This is they love the media attention, and his daughter does work with the liberal elite politicians. She benefits by this happening. She's also the one, as we told you last week, who unfortunately is working with Taylor Swift to get out the vote with Democratic causes.
Yeah, that's
so anyway, those things are happening. They continue to happen. And you know, so I mean, is there anybody really in New York that's not going to know about Donald Trump? Is that even possible? I don't even know if it's possible. How do they pick a jury?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
And they're saying that you're coming up and they're saying, can you be biased? So the jurors come up and they're like, if you say, no, I can't be biased, then you're out right away. How do you find a whole jury full of people that haven't seen all this going on and isn't biased? How do you find one?
No, you don't.
Do you?
You don't. You don't do it anywhere because it's impossible, because it's not going to happen. Something else occurred the other night too, which I thought was interesting. I bring up, I was looking for it if you can see it. Okay. Sage Steele the other night, we've told you about Sage Steele, former ESPN anchor. Well, Sage was at the UFC event, another terrific UFC event that was held. And she put out a statement after she did this. And basically she said, after years of covering the UFC at ESPN, I finally got to see it live and in person. Game changer. Thank you at Dana White for everything. Great people, great event, great fights. So Sage put this out there, and guess who liked it?
Who?
Travis Kelce.
Interesting.
So Travis Kelce.
Travis.
So Travis likes it, and then liberal left lunatics, the LLL Society, go after him for liking Sage Steele's tweet. So I'm like, is there hope? Or is he playing both sides of the fence? Why would he like Sage Steele promoting Donald Trump, Dana White, and the UFC?
Because I think he really likes Dana White. I don't know if he likes Donald Trump, but you know, he's the type of guy, and there's been pictures of him going to these UFC fights.
There is? I don't remember seeing Travis there.
So yeah, I'll find one.
Okay, good.
And so he is that type of a person. I'm not saying that is a good or a bad type. I'm not saying that. But so I think he's playing a game. You know, I'm not saying he doesn't like Taylor Swift, but he's playing a game with the jab and the this and the that. So I do think he's trying to play both sides to the middle. I really do. He does it for money. He's doing it for his girlfriend, and he hangs with the Dana White group.
He don't want his ass kicked.
He doesn't want his ass kicked. That's right. Because he'd get his ass kicked.
Jeannie says, start digging into Letitia's closet.
Good old Letitia.
Of course. Letitia, the New York attorney
That's right.
General, who we already know how she has handled herself in a very non-law way. But I do love the fact that I love that Travis liked this. I'm glad he did, and I don't care. He should be allowed to like whatever he likes.
For sure.
Without this other crap, right?
But there's always this other crap. You put yourself out in any sort of limelight, so to speak. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody does.
And of course, Sage Steele has been very popular because she's the former news anchor, now does her own show, trying to show everything that was going on at ESPN, and of course,
Mhm.
you can't trust them.
That's right.
Not at all. So anyway, Travis jumping out there. Will it die in the media? Yeah, it'll die. I mean, but I don't want it to be a big deal. Trish says, is that why Taylor is still with him, trying to convert his political stance?
I mean, it could be. You see this often that Vic, you've talked about this with your son's age group, that a lot of the women are these white liberal insufferables and the guys are conservatives. And then the women get the guy and then they keep trying to change them. You see this in sports and with, movie people all the time, that then the guy does that and starts moving to the left. You hope the guy then rubs off on the girl and goes, okay, you can't really be that dumb.
I agree. But Sage Steele, thank God. I mean, once again, we've talked about her so much. Oh yeah, there's the picture. So that's what she tweeted, a picture of meeting Donald Trump at UFC on Saturday night.
That's awesome.
Getting a chance to be there. And she's super recognizable. And we already know that the UFC has become it's become a place for free speech, whatever you have. It just happens to be that the free speech that people are giving is pro-Trump, it's pro-America, it's pro-Constitution, it's pro-less government, and people seem to love it. And that is the tweet. We were showing you the picture that Travis Kelce liked. That Travis Kelce liked of Sage Steele.
Maybe
he's friends with her.
That's right. Maybe he just likes her.
Yeah, they met each other. But then the LLC, the liberal left lunatics, went after Travis Kelce because he liked that tweet. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That tweet. Go figure. Isn't that great?
And it's really not anything that big of a deal, really. I mean, the tweet, but it became a big deal by the LLL, as you call them.
Robert brings up a point. Squatters have occupied a pub owned by Gordon Ramsay in central London. That's listed at about, 13 million, worth about 16 million US.
Wow.
The group, consisting of at least 6 people, has boarded up the windows, posted a legal warning to defend their action at the super listed York and Albany Hotel and Gastropub near Regent's Park.
Isn't that interesting? And I don't know Gordon Ramsay's political bent, but I know that he's putting a restaurant on the 3rd floor somewhere in the city of St. Louis too.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So,
At Hotel St. Louis.
That's right. So I'm wondering if the squatters are going to come and do it at that hotel too.
Oh my God. Megan says, I know Kelly, talking about Kelly Mano, won't like me saying this, but I think that Travis is going to get sick of Taylor. He's going to find out that he can't change her and he's going to leave.
I could see that happening.
You must be a Chiefs fan and Travis can do no wrong.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but a lot of people.
Because Travis went way woke.
He did go way woke.
But
maybe he's tired of being woke.
He went way woke and the one thing that he did went way woke on, and he kind of stuck it in other NFL guys and other pro athletes' face, was by doing the cupcake.
Yeah, that I lost a lot of respect for him on that.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
He sold his soul for the money and the cash, and we'd all like to have the money and the cash and the comfort, but you don't sell your soul in doing it. And he sold his soul.
Yeah, I thought so too. Once you tell, and it's one thing if you want to get that jab in your arm, it really is, if that's what you want to do. But then when you are trying to get other people to do it too, that's when you sell your soul, for sure.
I think it's temporary insanity. Girls will do that. What does that mean?
Well, I'm thinking what Megan is saying is that girls have a way of making guys temporarily losing.
Oh, no, they do.
Their faculties for a little bit.
No, absolutely. That came straight from God. I'm sorry. This goes all the way back to Eve. I'm not even going to go down.
Yeah.
That road.
Well, all you have to do is read that in Genesis. And if my grandma used to say,
been there, done that.
You just didn't eat the damn apple, we wouldn't even have to wear clothes. But no, you had to eat the damn apple. And there you go.
Right. What a great quote from Margaret Thatcher from the chat line. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it.
Very true. Very true. I think you have to fight a battle quite a few more times than once to win a battle.
Hey, on a more positive note, because we cover everything here. I just found that to be interesting. The Masters was played yesterday, arguably the most popular golfing event in the world, and it's a terrific setting. And what I find interesting too is Scotty Scheffler. He's been number 1 in the world for a long time, and he's only 27 years old, an American. very humble, very quiet. His wife was
Yeah.
about ready to give birth this week. He wasn't. He said he'd leave. He literally said, "If my wife goes into labor, I'm leaving the Masters before the final round when he had the lead." Well, he went on to win yesterday. He dominated the back nine, and he picked up his second Masters win in 2 years. Good New Jersey kid, played golf at Texas, and afterwards, he was asked to define himself and who he is, and if he's a golfer. And I just love this. This is it's just so heartfelt. He's not just saying, "Oh, I give the credit to God," but he gave thought to it. Just another reason and a feel good story as we start to end the podcast today. Here's Scotty Scheffler.
A lot of number one players in the world have admitted that they've had to be selfish with their time. They've had to work very hard because they were just about compulsive to stay on top. How would you say golf, where does it fit in defining you as a person right now?
Hopefully it doesn't define me too much because golf definitely is a selfish sport. You're out there by yourself, and when you're at the peak of your game, people need stuff from you a lot of the time, and you have to be selfish with your time. And it's not easy to say no, but you have to learn how to say no to certain people. And because ultimately, when you come out to a golf tournament, you're here to compete, and you're here to do your best, and you can't really get caught up in all the stuff that's going on around you. And so I'm hoping it doesn't define me too much because, I feel like I say it a bunch. Golf's something that I do. It's a tremendously huge part of my life, but it doesn't define me as a person. It's just something that I do, and I happen to be good at it some weeks. And I come in here and you guys ask all nice questions, and then the next week I'm bad at it, and then some of the questions are viewed more negatively, and that's just kind of the ebb and flow of competing in front of people all the time.
Can I follow up? What do you think defines you?
Gosh, I don't know. You probably have to ask my wife. No, I'm a faithful guy. I believe in a creator. I believe in Jesus. Ultimately, I think that's what defines me the most. I feel like I've been given a platform to compete and show my talent. It's not anything that I did. I think I sat up here a couple years ago doing the interview after the 2022 Masters, and it's like, I was underprepared for what was about to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't, I was very anxious that morning. I didn't know what to expect, and it's hard to describe the feeling, but I think that's what defines me the most is my faith. I believe in one creator, and I've been called to come out here, do my best, compete, and glorify God, and that's pretty much it.
Scotty Scheffler, number one golfer in the world, giving you a heartfelt response to
so
a question. And it's just awesome to see and hear
really
somebody
is.
who's not selfish from that standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
who isn't like that. I'm sorry, guess what? It's about winning. And the thing I love about it is, hey, I love Tiger. I loved Phil Mickelson. But guess what? They were two very selfish individuals. Hey, they're still my favorites from a golfing standpoint.
That's right.
But they were very selfish in a variety of ways. It's just so nice to see somebody, my God, that's so humble, because we always promote being humble. Be truthful, be persistent, but be humble.
That's right.
Be humble, help each other. Be
so
kind, but be humble.
Saying that he didn't even know, what year he said it was, 2020 or whatever, that he didn't even know what was going to be happening. And it almost seems like to me, his faith got even stronger when he knew there was something bigger than himself.
Yeah. And the issue that you have with that standpoint, not a big issue, it's a good issue, is the fact that you got this guy. And I loved one of the comments. It's like, sometimes if you grip too hard and you're gripping too hard and you're holding on too tight, it's not going to work out well. This is the end all. We got to have this. And I've been there, and I've been guilty of this. Got to have this, got to have this, got to have. It can't be in desperation. And that is not a golfer who is in desperation.
Right. I liked that's what he was basically saying too later. I don't know if it was before or after that he was saying he was so nervous and he was gripping on so tight, and he had one of his friends and his confidant in there with him. And he basically said, whether you win or lose, you already won because you've been saved by Jesus. And he said, and that's when he had a complete calm. and that golf did not identify him, because at the end of the day, he knows who he is in Christ.
Yeah, it helps when you're the number one golfer in the world already.
That's right. So true.
It helps when you're damn good and you
Yes.
just won your second Masters in 2 years. And we love that. We
That's so
celebrate that
awesome.
as well. David Gregory on the show tomorrow. We'll let you know when that is. The super conservative attorney, and he'll be jumping in with the show a lot more. We appreciate the support that he's going to be giving the show. And also Will Scharf, who you saw with Fox News yesterday, he'll be
Looking
on the
forward to
show
that.
on Wednesday as well. So as always, please like, subscribe, share the show, let people know what we do. We appreciate if you can, if you donate, if it works for you, whatever helps, it's all good. We love what you guys help us with here as well. And appreciate the birthday wishes. Appreciate you guys giving us ideas and stories. Of course, we'll be following what happens with this FBI criminal investigation with the Francis Key Scott Britt with the Key Bridge to see what happened with that. You're going to see all over media headlines, Donald Trump, hush money, Stormy Daniels, don't get caught up in all the sideshows. And we still have lots of other stuff that we can get to as well. We got it. We're going to show you, because we kind of talked a little faith there. A pastor. Do you know where this happened? What
Springfield, Missouri.
Oh my God.
It was actually and what people don't know about Springfield, Missouri, if you're not from here, that is the Bible Belt of Missouri.
It's supposed to be.
It is, and it's changed so much.
What kind of Bible Belt?
I don't know. It's changed so much. When I went to college down in Springfield, Missouri, and then my middle daughter went to college in Springfield, Missouri, and it is not the same Springfield, Missouri at all. And so, yeah.
But the video is so long. That's where I was like, well, you know what? Maybe we show it.
Yeah, just go ahead and show
Joe,
it.
if it's not too late, I was trying to close out. This pastor goes off he's there for a men's conference.
Yes.
And he goes off on the host pastor because he allowed some male like dancer stripper guy
dancing on a pole, taking his shirt off. And that guy in real life is a male stripper.
Okay, here it is.
I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning. The reason I'm hoarse is I have been praying for you, and my heart is very burdened for you. And I want to be very careful with this, and it's not what I want to say, but the Jezebel spirit has already been here. The Jezebel spirit opened our event. This is a rebuke and a correction of no one. This is an observation. Before the Word of God was open, there was a platform. It was a high place. On it was a pole, an ashtray. The same thing that's used in the strip club for women who have the Jezebel spirit to seduce men. In front of that was a man who ripped his shirt off like a woman does in front of a pole at a strip club. That man then ascended. See, our God is not arrogant. He doesn't ascend. Our God is humble. He descends. And then he swallowed a sword, and Jesus cried, okay, Pastor John, I'll receive that. Thank you.
So he was, at that point, he was kicked off.
Yeah, so that's over. He got kicked off stage because he called out the
because he
male
called that
stripper.
out, and they said he should have done that in private before not having it out there. But the show opened up with that male stripper taking off his shirt, and when you look, he is a guy that strips. What in the world? What purpose? I never could.
Who is the pastor that brought this guy out there? Now, Mark
John Lindell.
John Lindell. What is the name of that church? Get the hell out ASAP.
Yes.
Blasphemy all over the damn place.
Correct.
Yes, that is Mark Driscoll
Driscoll
is the pastor who was calling it out.
And it was a big men's called Stronger Men's Conference in Springfield, Missouri, where hundreds, probably 1,000 men were there.
And this is what I bring out, because I'm telling you, this stuff happens in all areas of faith. Faith will be attacked in every possible way. How a pastor could even think for a men's conference, but how men even continue to show up. This just goes to show you how easy people can be led, humans,
Well, and
especially men.
Yes. And the church is called James River Church. And I went there one time because my daughter was kind of going there before too.
Hell?
James River Church is the biggest church in the United States, and it's located in Springfield, Missouri. And my daughter went there for a while and absolutely loved it. Now they have like 5 campuses, and I'm not making fun of
I was told it
campuses.
was a big like health, wealth, prosperity
Correct.
type of Joel Osteen church.
Well, and what it is my daughter said when she went to,
and they're all over the St. Louis metropolitan
Yes.
area as well. I'm not going to give the name out now. If you want to ask me privately, I'll tell you privately. I grew up in that crap and I know all about it.
That's right. And at Christmas, Vic, they get people to come there, especially young college students and stuff, by giving them prizes. They pass out prizes.
Coffee, drums, and prizes.
Yep. Come on in and you're going to get some
really
prizes. Yeah, I mean, for Christmas. So
That's
I mean,
blasphemy at its
that is James River Church. And so if anybody wants to know what's going on in James River Church, and if you know anybody that goes there, you might want to ask John Lindell, what in the world were you thinking? But see, they're also a church that for a long time was very conservative. And now they've kind of gone, it's okay to be gay. It's okay to be a transgender. It's okay, I guess, obviously, to strip on a pole at a men's conference. So I would love to have seen the men's face when that happened. I haven't found any video of that.
Yeah, from the chat line. Who would have ever thought that could have been a good idea for church?
What in the hell?
Having a male stripper open up the men's conference?
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever.
God help us.
I know.
God help us. God help us. When I saw that story come down and you had that, I was like, oh my God, where did this happen? California?
No.
New York?
Missouri.
New York? Portland, Oregon?
Yeah. And people asking me, is it a gay pastor? No, I believe John's name is, he's married to a lady named Debbie or Donna or something like that. And I don't know if anyone else in their congregation or on staff is gay or not. But that's the problem with our churches today. You can love the sinner, but you don't have to love the sin. And if you go to a Bible-based church that follows scripture, they would not say it's okay to be gay. I'm sorry, they just wouldn't. Now they would tell you to love the gay person, but they certainly wouldn't put some gay guy up there.
This all gets into the political spectrum that we're dealing with as well. Cancel woke culture. Lisa says James Church is a power leader in the woke church invasion.
Lisa's 100% right. But they did it little by little by little. They started off very conservative, and Lisa said it the best. It is James River Church is a power leader.
They have one person that continues to go to that church after this, and what happened?
They have thousands. It is the biggest attended church in the United States, not just Missouri, in the United States.
Even bigger than Joel Osteen's church.
Joel Osteen has one. This one has 5 ginormous locations.
I mean, somebody's bigger than us. Praise them. Do they have money in their walls too?
They probably do.
I could show them a thing or two.
You sound just like
God loves you. You're supposed to be a billionaire.
And you're supposed to do whatever you want in the name of Jesus.
I'm sorry. Just
and it's so sad. And I'm not trying to make fun of.
I am 100%.
I mean,
call out the sin, right, Lizzie?
You're right.
Amen.
You're right. Call out the sin. You have to do it. And the churches right now are in crisis.
Praise you, Lizzie.
I'm going to heal you, Vic, on your birthday.
Lizzie, I didn't tell you, but if you take a sledgehammer to these walls in our studio, hundreds will fall out for you.
Thank God. Thank God.
Hundreds.
We'll
call
You're going to heal people today, Vic?
No, I wish. I just whatever. Anyway, that angers me when I see that type of video. And thankfully that man had the strength to do what he did.
Thank God he did.
And then when he was asked to get off stage, he put his hat on, he walked right off.
And he walked right off. I thought that was a classy move, that he was kicked off. And so he just walked right on out, put his hat on, and he walked right on out. God bless you, Mark Driscoll.
Dennis says, why do so many evangelists talk that way? It's so weird.
But they do. They do.
It's a school. I'm telling you.
It must be a school. They all talk like this. Southern drink, but you got to have a little breath too. Just a little breath. Little breath. Don't forget the breath.
This is canceltheshow.com. We appreciate you guys jumping in for us Monday through Friday, live 8 to 10 a.m. Central. You can catch all of our episodes, of course, right after the show as well. It's taped if you don't see it live. Like, subscribe, share the show. We love you guys. Thank you so much. And of course, if you have story ideas, let us know about that as well. Have an awesome day. That does it for the fastest 2 hours in podcasting. April 15th was the show. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.